Yeah.
Here we are at Indian Market 2011 after an 18-month or so break. And it's wonderful to see all of the artists gathering together, keeping a tradition going, because ultimately Swire has been keeping the tradition going for almost 100 years now. And Monte Yellow Bird has been here who knows how many years. He can explain it himself. And I'd like to have him explain a little bit the generational art, about how it influenced him as a young artist and how now it can influence young artists that up and coming that'll be here in Indian Market in 25 years talking who knows what kind of media. Monte, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, first I want to thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of art and traditions. I think it's very interesting that we are getting at this point where we need to start thinking about traditions and carrying them forward. I think in the past I've seen a lot of traditional families coming in with traditional generational work, but I see there's a change, more emphasis on contemporary evolution to native art, and from my perspective, coming from my traditions, I think in a way it doesn't really serve some of the newer generations because we get caught up in some of the materialism and being able to be the forefront of something or recognized in certain ways rather than to be carrying on these traditions from our culture and from our heritage. So I'd like to see more traditional art that's coming from a real traditional background rather than just commercially.
And the youth?
And the youth, I think it's important for us to not only teach the youth the language and the concept of where we come from, but also to express their generational change, as well as connect themselves to our ancient people as well. So,
do you see art as a language?
I think art is a language. It really is. I said one of the teachings that we have is that the sound that comes from our spirit, from our soul, that has a spirit attached to it, same as our actions. Action has a spirit attached to it, and the writing and the marks and the colors. And so the colors don't really belong to us, they belong to all of creation, but we get to be the illustrators or the people that get to utilize them to benefit the world.
What do you have to say, some of the pieces that you have here on display? Are there any one that you'd like to highlight?
The pieces that I'm normally known for is for ledger art, and of course I haven't done a whole lot of ledger art lately during this pandemic time. The pieces that I do have highlighted now are really done in a very traditional ceremonial way. And what I mean by that is the ideal is building on the unknown to highlight life. And so these canvases are all gessoed with black canvas to represent the darkness and the unknown that we're going through at this particular time in our generation. And so what I do is I add layer and I add story, traditional story and traditional teachings to it. And that's our responsibility as human beings, is to be the light for other generations or to bring light to the darkness. And so that's what the pieces are really about. I mean, it's referencing this era and being able to inspire people to build on the darkness and bring light, love, and understanding and respect to each other in the world.
How can people get a hold of you and get your art?
I can be reached at blackpintohorsefinearts.com, and my email is blackpintohorse@hotmail.com. And I'm currently, I live in Rio Rancho. I'm originally from North Dakota. I'm a Rikurahidatsa and Crow. But I do ledger art. I'm a traditional storyteller as well as an educator and an artist.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.